everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to add IndiaMart leads in queries to Google Sheets for plywood business. So I'm an owner of a plywood business, and using IndiaMart, I receive a lot of leads and inquiries for my business and the products that I sell. I want that as soon as any of the potential customers or clients, a new lead is going to be generated in IndiaMart account, I want to create the record of my leads details in my Google Sheets. Now doing this manually is very time consuming. So what I've done is I've simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build a connection between IndiaMart and Google Sheets with the help of it. So if you also want to learn about this amazing automation process step by step, for that let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to add IndiaMart leads in queries to Google Sheets for plywood business. So as an owner of a plywood business, I use IndiaMart to connect with potential customers who are interested in my products. And I use Google Sheets to organize and manage all the customer details. By automating the process, I ensure that every new lead that is generated using IndiaMart is directly added to my Google Sheets, making it easier for me to track and follow up with my customers efficiently. And I'm going to create this amazing automation between IndiaMart and Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign into our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the all Pabbly apps in front of you, in which you can see all the application that Pabbly provides, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button right here. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow over here, I'm going to give it as Add IndiaMart Leads in Queries to Google Sheets for Plywood Business. So this is the name that I want. After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select IndiaMart Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created over here in the name of Add IndiaMart Leads in Queries to Google Sheets for Plywood Business, and you can see there are two windows in front of you. One says Trigger, other says Action. So what is Trigger and Action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process, because our process depends on these two principles. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as IndiaMart. As with the help of IndiaMart, I am receiving a lot of leads and inquiries for my plywood business. I want that as soon as any of the potential customers or clients, a new lead is going to be generated in my IndiaMart account, automatically over here the trigger should capture the response of that. And that is why for my trigger application, I'm going to select it as IndiaMart. And for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as new leads. After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. Using this unique webhook URL, we're going to build the connection between IndiaMart and Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to firstly copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into my IndiaMart account that I want to connect to Pabbly Connect. So this is my account, and I'm going to connect this account to Pabbly Connect. In order to do that, from the left side of the panel, go to the Lead Manager option right here. After coming to Lead Manager page, over here in the top left corner, it says Menu. Click on it. From the drop down, go to Import/Export Leads. And from the given option, select Push API right here. As you go to land towards the Push API integration page right here, it is asking for us to select the source first. If I'm going to click on this drop down, the given source is not provided in the drop down. So I'm going to select over here as Other. As I'm going to select it, it's asking for the platform name and the URL. For the platform name over here, I'm going to give the platform name over here as Pabbly Connect, and for the URL I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. And for the URL I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. Then I'm going to click on Save Details button. It is asking for the reason why we're activating this API, so I'm going to select the random reason and click on this button right here. As I'm going to do that, you can see the webhook URL has now been successfully added to my IndiaMart account. As now the webhook URL is added to my IndiaMart account, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. You can see over here it is saying waiting for webhook response. So now to check whether IndiaMart is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate a test lead in my IndiaMart account, and after generating the test lead, I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the test lead being generated or not. Okay, and how I'm going to generate the test lead? For that, I'm going to use my IndiaMart users account. So I'm going to log into my IndiaMart users account right now. So this is my IndiaMart users account, and using this account, I'm going to generate the test lead. I have created a dummy product, so I'm going to search for that dummy product right here. So this is the dummy product. I'm going to select it, and using this dummy product, I'm going to generate a test lead. I'm going to click on contact supplier. It is asking for all these details. I'm going to select the dummy details, click on next. It is asking for the message. The message is going to be the inquiry that I have. So I'm going to write the message over here as, we are looking for a large project and need monthly supply of 200 sheets of 19 mm plywood. Can you handle this volume? Okay. So this is the inquiry that I have. I'm going to click on this next button. It is asking for the GST number. So I'm going to enter a dummy GST number right here and click on this submit button. It says the details are sent. This means the test lead is generated. Now I'm going to go back to my workflow. This is my workflow right here. If I'm going to scroll down over here, and yes, you can see right over here, the response of the new lead has been captured over here in our trigger. We have received the status as success. This is a query ID, dummy subject. Lead state comes as Madhya Pradesh. Name comes over here as Angel. This is the phone number of our lead. Email as testuser@pabblitudes.com. Country as IN, that is India. Company as test company. City as Bhopal. Address as Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. For the query date and time, this is date and time right over here. This is the product name for which the query was generated. And this is the same message that was forwarded to us as an inquiry by our lead. That is, we're working on a large project and need a monthly supply of 200 sheets. This was the same message as you can see right over here with the other details that has been captured in our response. As now the response of the new lead being generated has been captured over here in our trigger. This means that we successfully created a connection between IndiaMart and Pabbly Connect, and our trigger setup is done. Now, whenever by any of the lead, a new lead is going to be generated in our IndiaMart account, automatically in the similar manner, the trigger is going to capture the response of that. My objective is to add my IndiaMart leads details in queries in my Google Sheets. Now, for that, we're going to set up our action step. And for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as Google Sheets. And for the action event, I'm going to select as add new row. Then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection. After that, click on sign in with Google. A window is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the permission. So I'm going to click on this allow button. As this is saved, process my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this allow button right here. As I've done that, you can see we successfully authorized Google Sheets to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for us to select a spreadsheet. So I've created a spreadsheet in the name of IndiaMart Leads Details, and in the spreadsheet, I want to create a record of my IndiaMart's Leads Details. So with the spreadsheet over here, I'm going to select as IndiaMart's Leads Details. Okay. After that, it is asking for us to select a sheet. So I've created a single sheet in the name of sheet 1. So for the sheet over here, I'm going to select it as sheet 1. Okay. After that, it is asking for the unique query ID, name, email, phone number, company, address, city, state, country, product name, and the message. So these are the same fields, the headers that I've created in this spreadsheet, you can see right over here. And under these headers, I wanted to create the record of my leads details. Okay. So for the data of these fields, what we're going to do is we're going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. And how mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, this was the previous step. And as I'm going to click on it, this is the same response that was captured in our previous step of our leads details. I'm going to create the record of these lead details in my spreadsheet. So I'm going to select the data of the unique query ID from my previous response. As I've selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I mapped the data has now become dynamic. That means now, whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data. Similarly, for the name, I'm going to search for the name right over here, and I'm going to map the data of the name right here. For the email over here, I'm going to map the data of the email that I've received. I'm going to map the data right here. For the phone number, I'm going to map the data of the phone number that I've received right here. So this is the data of the phone number. I'm going to map the data. For the company over here, I've received the data of the company. I'm going to map the data right here, okay? For the address over here, I'm going to map the data of the address that I've received right here. I'm going to map the data of the address. For the city, I'm going to map the data of the city right here. This is the city. I'm going to map it. For the state over here, I'm going to map the data of the state right here. So this is the data of the state. I'm going to map the data. For the country over here, I'm going to map the data of the country. So this is the country. I'm going to map the data, okay? For the product name, map the data of the product name. And for the message over here, map the data of the message right here, okay? I'm going to simply map the data. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this Save and Send Test Request button right here. As I'm going to do that, we have received a response, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my spreadsheet and check whether the record of my IndiaMart leads details has been created in my spreadsheet or not. For that, I'm going to open my spreadsheet that I've created. And yes, you can see right over here, I've created the record of my IndiaMart leads details right here. Unique query ID is the ID, name as Angel, email as testuser@pablitudes.com with a mobile number, company name as Test Company, address as Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, city as Bhopal, state as Madhya Pradesh, country as IN, that is India, product name and the message. So as the record of the leads details has been created in our spreadsheet, this means that we have successfully created an automation between IndiaMart and Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of a plywood business and using IndiaMart, I receive a lot of leads and inquiries for my business. I want that as soon as a new lead is going to be generated by the potential customers or clients using IndiaMart, I want to create the record of the leads details in my spreadsheet, and for that I've connected IndiaMart to Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect in this manner. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.